Which brings us to Tuesday night's game against Tampa Bay. And I'll give you 3 guesses as to what happened. Phil Kessel makes his much anticipated debut in Toronto and gets a rude welcome back to the NHL. In the first period, Phil Kessel gets his bell rung on what he described as the hardest hit of his career by Matthias Ohlund. He left the ice making me a little nervous, but returned moments later and played well the rest of the game. This game was very close the whole way through. Both goaltenders looked amazing, and it took until the end of the second period for anyone to score. Vincent Lecavalier potted the first goal of the game, his second of the season, with a minute and a half remaining in the second period. Gustafsson made the initial stop, but the puck went on a wide rebound straight to Lecavalier, who was standing on the other side of the ice, and he had a wide open net. But good old Ian White responded 5 minutes into the third on the power play to tie it up. And that's where the game remained until the end of regulation. In overtime, Ryan Malone scores the game winner on a goal that should have been disallowed. Not only was Gustafsson run over, but the net was knocked off. Both of these things happening before the puck crossed the line. Watch the replay and you'll see what I mean. The play is reviewed, but the goal stands and the Leafs lose another one in overtime. Nitti Mackey was on fire that night. There were several times when I found myself asking, how did that not go in? Why is it that the Leafs always face a hot goaltender? As an indication of how good Nitti Mackey was this game, the Leafs outshot Tampa Bay 41-32. One thing that seemed really odd to me was the Leafs' power play. The Leafs had 8 chances and only scored on 1 of them. Your power play is second in the league. You're given 8 power play chances, 16 minutes of penalties, and you're only able to score on 1 of them? Nitti Mackey was hot, but you should be able to take advantage when they're down a man. The good news is that the Leafs' penalty kill looked very good, stopping all 3 power play opportunities that Tampa had. Granted, Tampa Bay's power play unit isn't a powerhouse, but this is a confidence boost for the Leafs' penalty killing unit. And seeing as how there were only 3 power play opportunities for Tampa Bay, the Leafs are also cutting down on their penalties. Gustafsson looked good yet again. That wide rebound is one of those bad bounces that can happen. Those bad bounces that have played the Leafs this season. And in yet another piece of good news, Phil Kessel looked great out there. He had 10 shots on net, setting a career high, played 24 minutes, 24 shifts, had lots of chances. The Lightning defense let him run wild. There were moments when my jaw just dropped from some of his shots. I mean, this guy has a wicked shot. He looked amazing out there, even though he didn't get a goal. And with those 10 shots on goal, Phil Kessel has answered the biggest question that's surrounding him since he came to Toronto. Who's going to feed him the puck without Mark Savard? Matt Stajan, Johnny Mitchell, and Jason Blake. That's who. So the Leafs next face the Carolina Whaler Canes on Friday. Let's hope Cam Ward doesn't have the game of his life. Oh, and one more thing before I go. Now guys, as you know, I'm a pretty big deal. I mean, regular appearances on Leafs TV, getting a stick personally autographed by all the Marlies players, meeting Andy Rogers, going on a Leafs billboard, watching the Marlies home opener in my private box right next to Brian Burke. You get the idea. Well, I'm about to cash in on another perk of being a big deal. On November 22nd, I will be skating with the Marlies at Ricoh Coliseum. That's right, I'll be skating right alongside Bozak, Hanston, Toulouse, Stahlberg, the whole gang. Oh, what's that? You want to get in on this too? Well, too bad. Oh, alright. This is another one of Chancellor's Meet Me at the Marlies promos. Tickets are $15, and for $15 you get Marlies swag, an entry into a raffle to win autographed memorabilia, an entry into a raffle to win platinum Marlies tickets to an upcoming home game, You get to watch the Leafs practice in Rico before the game. You get to watch the Marlies game. And after the game, you get to skate on ice with the Marlies. I would pay $15 for one of those things. For the details, check out the link over here. It'll give you all you need to know on how to order tickets. That's it for this week, and if you'll excuse me, I have to go sharpen my skates. Go Leafs, go.